Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at Adam Torres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Matt Kerbel on the line, who is in charge of marketing and brand strategy over at Canoo. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, man, I cannot wait to get into these beautiful vehicles that I'm looking at right now. But before I do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career in business?
Yeah, so I grew up in Canada in a very multicultural environment and was always really fascinated with people from different walks of life and psychology in general. So that led me to gravitate toward marketing because I loved the idea of studying people and finding ways to connect with them authentically versus the Mad Men style ads that we grew up with in the 90s. And so I majored in marketing and entrepreneurship at McGill in Montreal, and then I started working at an ad agency in Toronto that focused on reaching Gen Y before the term millennial was ever a thing. And I became a bit of an expert. And I really enjoyed my time on the agency side, but I started to love my clients and realized that what I really wanted to do was work on one brand and business holistically. And I love the idea of being on the other end of the call and making the actual decisions regarding what we should do. I have family here in LA where I live now, so I decided to pack up, move my life to LA and get my MBA and alter my career path to brand strategy and management. Probably a good decision because I met my wife there at UCLA. And out of business school, I started working for a couple of global jobs. I worked for General Mills and Activision, including launching a Call of Duty, which is a whole other podcast in and of itself. And that was an amazing education in how to really think about consumer empathy and building a brand architecture. But I saw this movement happening in direct to consumer and technology, and I became enamored and said to myself, I have to find a way to participate. So fortunately, I happened upon an opportunity to lead Southern California marketing for Lyft during the early days when there was still tremendous excitement and growth happening. And our little team grew LA to become the #1 market for the company, and it was just a really wonderful experience. I'm still super fond of the company, and judging by the company I'm at today, still care deeply about taking on challenges relating to transportation. I left to take on a role selling underwear for MeUndies, but really we were selling confidence, self-expression, and creativity. And I'm really proud of what that brand stands for today, how much it helps people express who they are without constraints or judgment. And that brings me to Canoo, where I couldn't pass up the opportunity to build something from scratch that's kind of never been done before, and we'll talk about that, and an opportunity to be back tackling mobility. So long story short, many different industries, maturities, cultures, business models, but always building amazing brands. And honestly, it's been a really incredible ride. I wouldn't change a thing.
Man, that's exciting. You got a partner out of it. You got a degree. You got a new career. Man, that's a good move, California, for you. Good job.
Definitely. I traded over sunshine, so I'll take that trade any day.
That's awesome. And let's just get right into Canoo. First of all, these amazing vehicles. So what's going on over at Canoo?
Yeah, so we're a new age LA-based startup. We're creating and offering our own brand of electric vehicles for subscription only. Our first vehicle, which we simply call the Canoo, we're going to launch in 2021, so we're pre-launch. And we're really designing an EV for a world in which transportation is becoming increasingly electric, shared, connected, and autonomous. And basically, we're challenging the conventional automotive approach in 3 really important ways. So the first is we have a new business model that focuses on reducing production and infrastructure costs to make EVs more affordable to customers. So a few quick examples are that we're direct to consumer with no dealerships. We will co-manufacture our vehicles rather than build our own factories and passing on those costs. And we actually don't have a screen in our vehicle, which I'm happy to speak on more in a bit. The second is that we have this bold, forward-looking design that you were commenting on that capitalizes on space that only electric vehicle technology can afford. We can talk more about that. It resembles nothing on the road today, which is why it's so striking. And it's actually the length of a Prius with the interior capacity of a large SUV. And then the third.
Wait a minute, that's the length of a Prius? Because I'm looking at
Yeah.
a picture, so I can't see the scale. But you're right, because it goes like the interior space. You can see it. It goes end to end because you don't have a big engine in the front.
That's right. So it actually sits on what we call our skateboard, which is a thin platform that houses our electric drivetrain and the batteries. And that's actually decoupled from the top cabin, which is actually very unique for the automotive industry. And what that enables us to do is as we build more cars moving forward in the future, our skateboard is actually standardized and we drop different cabins or what we call top hats on top. So if we wanted to make a commuter version that's more akin to what you see on the road today, or if you wanted to make a pickup truck version or something else, you actually can leverage the same platform, which means there's many more efficiencies in how we scale the number of vehicles that we actually have, which again, savings get passed on to the end user.
Wow, so it's like putting a new upper on a shoe, like the sole of a shoe.
That's right.
Really cool.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then the third way that I was going to mention is really important. So I talked about it being, subscription-based. It's a subscription-based membership model. And essentially what we want to do is put an end to ownership, give people a hassle-free and commitment-free car experience, and users will be able to pause or cancel whatever they like, right? So if you're somebody that knows you're going to be out of the country for business for 2 months, then you can actually pause and not pay for those 2 months. And so we revealed our electric vehicle in September, which was really cool. We did a reveal tour across LA in 3 different locations over a couple months. And then last week, on the 21st, we launched our unique take on a wait list, which we call the First Wave. And Wave is open to anyone. It's free to join and has really unique gamification elements to it that's helping us build up an excited community ahead of launch.
Man, that is really fun. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right, I've been wanting to do this tour, podcasting across America, city to city, get me out of the studio so I don't have to. I'm like, I feel like we could put some little podcasts, wrap it. I want to wrap one, put Money Matters podcast on it, take it to New York. I'm in. This is good. I'm excited. I want one. These are so cool. And I didn't realize that was the size. These are really cool. So you said 2021 is the first, is when the launch will happen in terms of someone can actually get one, or did I hear that wrong?
That's right, yeah. So we're going to be launching 2021. Our plan is actually, again, different than what you would traditionally expect. We're going to be going city by city. So we want to be methodical and we want to take the learnings that we get from cities and apply them. That way we can make sure that we really do a good job and cater to, the unique infrastructure and tastes, et cetera, of different cities. And, I have my background at Lyft. Some of our team comes from Uber as well, and we have that mentality of rolling out cities and doing things in a highly localized manner. So we're going to start in LA, and then from there we're going to go city by city, and our focus is actually going to be exclusively on major urban metropolises because that's really where the Canoo can affect the most, difference making on a short period of time.
Wow. Will there be, and this might be way too early to ask, but I'm just curious, will there be like these type of cars, will drivers be using these? I'm just thinking about your old company, so Lyft and all these other ones. Do you think drivers will be using these for that, or it's not really made for that?
Absolutely. We absolutely envision that ride sharing can let, the Canoo vehicles. Fundamentally, there's never really been a car that was created for ride sharing, right? And we think that this is an opportunity to say, look, we have something that is actually pretty short in length to get around cities, right, and park easily, but also it's optimized to be shared and to be exceptionally comfortable. There's a tremendous amount of room in the back cabin area, and it's a great car to drive. So we certainly envision this having applicability, whether it's people actually having their own at home or people actually leveraging them for business purposes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just, if there ever was a car that was created for a potential ride share, that's it. Like, this is really cool. It's like, I'd like to get in one right now. I hit my button and just have one come pick me up. It's really cool.
Right. The
Matt,
experience in the backseat is absolutely amazing and super different than anything that we've seen in the States.
So, tell me about the screen thing. So, no screen, tell me about that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things like this with our car, but essentially, from a design standpoint, it was stripped back and we said, well, if we were going to do this over, what would it look like? And what do we absolutely need versus what are nice to have? And what we realized after talking to people was, the large infotainment systems are often very difficult to figure out and often very expensive. And what we find is that most people will be using the screen that they use all the time anyways, which is the one in your pocket, right? Which is your phone or perhaps a tablet. And so we said, well, let's not actually have a screen. Let's save those. Let's reduce the cost of our vehicle and actually allow our cars to work with whatever operating system and device you bring into the car, right? So if you and your partner are sharing the car and you want to use Waze and Spotify, and he or she wants to use Pandora and Google Maps, right? Then the Canoo adapts to that, and it makes it very, very seamless and easy. And really, our whole philosophy is, one of our core values is people first, and we really want things to be about you and making it seamlessly, making it as seamless as possible for you to live the life that you want to live and just come and go as you please, versus you having to adapt to something in sort of an if we build it, you will come mentality.
Yeah, definitely. No, I love it. And I was hoping that's where you went with it, because unless you're in a really high-end luxury car where everything's in the windshield anyway and the odometer and everything else, then okay, great. But other than that, like I can't. Most cars, I see people put their phone in a holder or something like that in front of the navigation screen that's in their car. Because why? Because they use their phones. Like that's just
exactly
how we use them.
Well,
so it's like it was such a what?
Yeah, those navigation systems ultimately get outdated, right? And
for
the
sure.
thing that's updating all the time is your phone. And that's also personal to the apps that you want versus, the apps that actually come with the car itself.
And then wanting to program and all this, that. No,
right.
Nonsense. I love it. So Matt, that's the early community, the early movers, you had a special word for it that I forgot. What's that called, and how do people find out about it?
Yeah, so we have our waitlist open. It's free to join. It's called the First Wave, and we actually call those folks wave makers, which we love, and we have thousands of them so far and more every day. You can find out on Canoo.com, or you can actually go directly to Canoo.com/waitlist. If you want to catch Canoo on social media, it's basically at Canoo wherever you can find us. So whether that's obviously on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, we have a YouTube page, we have Vimeo, and then we actually also have our own podcast. It's called Get In, Let's Go, and basically it's talking about important issues pertaining to what we're trying to do, and we bring on some pretty cool guests ourselves. Maybe one day we'll have you as a guest on our podcast, Adam.
All exciting stuff, and I'm excited, and I'm joining the wait list. That's Canoo.com/waitlist. I'm getting one of these things. I love them. It's really cool. As soon as I seen the picture, I'm like, oh, I finally got my spaceship. Thank you. They said the Jetsons didn't do it. You're supposed to do this. I think this is supposed to be in 2020, though. You're a year off of the Jetsons.
Right. The future is now, man.
I love it. Awesome. Well, hey, Matt, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great stuff you're doing at Canoo. To bring on this new wave. I love it. It's really cool. Good ideas and a great product. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Don't forget, head on over to Canoo.com/waitlist. Check it all out. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel, Money Matters Top Tips, if you're watching us there. And leave us some comments below. Check it out. Check out the website. Let us know what you think about the vehicle, and give us some comments in the comment section. Love to engage with you there, and we'll make Matt answer the questions because I don't know the answers to them. I guarantee you. All right, Matt. Thanks again for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. It was a great time.